if you've got pain in your hip that's caused by osteoarthritis, I've got 4 exercises that you can do from bed that are simple and effective. So go ahead and stick with me. Hey, Coach Todd here with Feel Good Life, where we help you live with less pain using simple exercises and stretches. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to relieve pain in your hip that's caused by osteoarthritis, and you can do these while you're laying in bed. This is not my bed. This is the little, I call it a baby couch in our RV, but you can do these from your bed, and it's something that you can do right before bed while you're, you get into bed. You just jump straight into your little exercises, and I call them little, but they're really, really powerful. But they're not difficult to do, and they'll help you sleep better without hip pain. So, all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and start with number 1 exercise, which is laying numbers. So this is what you want to do. Go ahead and lay in your bed, and it's just like this. And I'm going to do this on my left side. With my right side, I'm going to place my foot up on the bed. Pretend this is a bed. This is our slide out in our RV. But my knee is going to be at about a 90-degree angle. Now, this exercise, numbers in the air, what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten my knee and bring it up as high as I can. Again, my left hip, pretend is the one with osteoarthritis in the hip. And now all you're going to do is draw numbers. So they say motion is lotion, right? So same thing with hip osteoarthritis, right? But what the nice thing is with these exercises, I'm not getting the weight bearing and putting more pressure into the socket, but I'm still strengthening the muscles and tendons around the hip. So numbers in the air, all you're doing is actually just drawing numbers. So here's 1, 2. It's not going to be great form or great, I wouldn't want to see these numbers on a piece of paper, but I think I just drew my 4 backwards too. But so it's less important that you get your numbers perfect and more important to do the movement within the hips. So you can try to get as full a range of motion as you can. Here's a 7. There's 8. Just like this. If you can't get to 9, so you want to stop at 9, you can stop at 100 really if you wanted to, but just for this exercise, you can stop at 9. If you start to feel a little bit of cramping in your hip, then go to 3 or 4 and then rest. And then go 5, 6, 7, and then rest for a few seconds, or even 10 seconds is fine. So you want to do that 1 time through total. Again, one of the best times to do this is either right before bed or when you wake up, right before you get out of bed, just because you're laying down, and it's just a good habit to get into, especially if you have hip osteoarthritis. Okay, so that was numbers in the air. The next exercise is hip external rotations and internal rotations. So I'm going to do this with one leg. You can do this with both legs. I just don't have enough room on the slide. You want to make sure your heel is out, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but my heel is down on the bed. And all I'm doing is externally rotating and internally rotating. External and internal. So it looks like this. You might not be able to see my foot, but I'm externally rotating and internally rotating. If your feet are too close together and your thighs are too close together, you might not be able to internally rotate your hips. So you want to separate your heels a little bit, enough to do an external and a internal. So here your knees might come together, but as long as you're getting that internal rotation, then that's fine. Just like this. So you want to do that 10 times too. So the first one we did 1 to 9, and you can do both legs, and then the next one, internal and external rotations, do that 10 times. Okay, so third exercise for hip osteoarthritis is hip abductions. So abduction is just a fancy medical term for bringing the leg out, or you could do the arm out too, but I like to think of as abduction. Think of an alien as abducting your leg. That typically means, well, it means outward. So I'm going to change. My right side now has hip osteoarthritis. So right leg is straight. So your body is perpendicular now to the bed. and you want to make sure you're getting good support. And all I'm doing is keeping my foot straight and raising that hip up. You don't need to go very high. You're just getting that movement. Go to full range of motion, but if you're feeling that pinching in that hip, just go a little bit. You don't need to push it. You're looking for that motion, that lotion within your hip, and strengthening the muscles that abduct your hip. So you're going to want to do that for 10 times as well. And you don't want to be kind of flopped over like this. You want to be perpendicular, so your body is perpendicular to the floor and you're raising that hip up, or the leg up, straight. So 10 times 2. So we did 1 through 9 on the numbers. We did 1 through 10 on the external and internal. And we did 1 through 10 on the hip abduction. The last one is the hip extension. So you can still do this from the bed. Some people have you face down in the bed, and then your face is kind of in your pillow. That isn't necessarily great for your neck, and definitely not good for your breathing. So what I recommend is kind of scooching to the edge of your bed, just like this, so you can place one hand on the ground. If that's too far, then you could get a little stool or something to place your hand on, or you could even place your hand up here, but just make sure you're turning your head to the side. And then now with my hip, so again, my right side has hip osteoarthritis. I'm sure you can hear that with a mic being blocked, but all I'm doing is raising that hip up, just like this. This is a small movement, actually a really good butt exercise too, but great for extension, the muscles that extend the hip. Small movement, do it 10 times. You're leading with the heel up, just like this. So 4 exercises for the hip. The second 3 did all the different movements of the hip, and then the first one was a general lubrication or mobility exercise for hip osteoarthritis. So let me know if you got any questions on those. Again, 4 simple exercises for hip osteoarthritis. Yeah, if you've got any questions, go ahead, put them in the comment section. Would love to help you answer them. And if you, again, enjoy learning about natural techniques and exercises and stretches for your joint health, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe button, hit that bell so you're alerted every time we release a new video. And looking forward to helping you live your later years, 50, 60, 70 and beyond, with less joint pain. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.